Call the meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Harlingen Consolidated Board of Trustees. This meeting has been posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. First of all, I want to apologize for the climate in here. Mr. Oscar Tapia is working on the air conditioning. I thought it was just overload, a lot of people here, but they say the air conditioner is not really working. But we'll do our due diligence, and hopefully we'll get cool off here very shortly. We do have a quorum. Will you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. We have our Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Shane Trubart.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight's pledge will be led by Evelyn Pettis. Evelyn is a 5th grade student from Bottom Elementary. She is student council president for the 2013-2014 school year. Evelyn is a GT student and also a member of the Bottom Choir. Outside of school, Evelyn has been playing soccer since she was 4 years old. When Evelyn grows up, she wants to be a physical therapist and would like to one day attend Texas A&M Kingsville. Joining her tonight are her parents, Yvette and Lionel Alanis, and Mr. Andrew Pettis. Ladies and gentlemen, Evelyn Pettis.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you so very much. I want to, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, express our appreciation for your participation tonight. The pride of certainly of our school district, but more importantly, the pride of our parents, the pride of our teachers, our staff, and our community is being expressed tonight, and we certainly appreciate your participation. We will start with awards and recognition. We have the PTSA Students of the Month for February, Mr. Shane Trubart.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, HCISD would like to recognize our February Students of the Month from Harlingen High School South, and Early College High School.
Inside school, I'm a varsity cheerleader, I'm the CX debater, and I'm NHS treasurer and senior class vice president.
I'm Kate Ferris, I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. Inside of school, I'm a varsity cheerleader, I'm the editor of the yearbook, I'm the historian of NHS, and outside of school, I'm a senior company dancer for Palm Valley.
Dealing with social life and extracurricular and school has taught me how to manage my time. Definitely responsibility. Learning how to manage 2 things at once, time management. I really like helping out and I really like helping people. I like the sense of satisfaction you get. I really like being involved in the community and in school. I'm going to attend Texas A&M University in College Station. Maybe planning to major in business administration or biomedical and be a physical therapist. I haven't decided yet. I'm attending Texas A&M University and I'm going to study communications, but I'm not too sure what I'm going to do after that, maybe advertising. I'm Sabrina Solis, and I'm a senior at Harlingen South. I'm the student council president, I'm a varsity cheerleader, I am a senior company A dance member at Palm Valley Gymnastics and Dance, I'm in the Future Business Leaders of America, National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, PTSA, on the Youth Leadership Steering Committee, and I am a member of the Superintendent Student Advisory Board.
I'm Catherine Hernandez. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. I am in PTSA, Student Council, National Technical Honor Society. I'm also involved with Yearbook, and I was in drill team for 3 years.
I've learned so much from being a part of all these organizations. I really feel like they've shaped me into who I am today as far as being a leader, because I need to know in what situations, what ways I need to lead.
What I've learned from these organizations is just to be myself and to respect others, also to just have fun and not take everything so serious.
I would say that I'm passionate about making a difference in my school and my community. I feel that I have a strong voice in the student council as a student council president and serving as a student government for our school, that actually currently this month we promoted the Love is Respect campaign that's nationwide, and it promotes healthy teenage relationships. With the Student Advisory Board, we are soon going to talk to the 8th and 9th grade students about what they need to know about coming into high school, that sometimes not all the counselors tell you, and just a different perspective from juniors and seniors that have been through it all, and what they really need to know about being prepared for college. And ultimately, I would love to do an anti-bullying campaign with either the student council on my campus or the Student Advisory Board for our district.
I am passionate about just hanging out with my family, also being with my friends, dancing, and just loving my dog.
After I graduate, I will attend the University of Texas at Austin and pursue a career in either business or economics.
I am going to attend UTPA in Edinburgh. Hopefully I'll be able to do my basics and then transfer out to UTSA. I want to major in biology to either become a doctor or a veterinarian.
I'm Amber Reese. I'm from Early College High School and I'm a 12th grader. I'm in Yearbook Club. I'm the editor of photography. I'm in National Honor Society. I'm the historian, and I'm a senior mentor.
My name is Tony Almendarez. I attend Early College High School and I'm a senior. I'm a class cabinet member. I'm in Ecology Club, and I go ahead and do basketball at the Boys and Girls Club.
I've really learned organization skills, how to set my time apart to make sure the more important things first.
They really taught me how to interact with other people and the responsibility that life can have on a person.
I really like to succeed. I try and push myself as much as I can to achieve more.
I'm passionate about how far I've come with my education, because it really showed me that I can really push myself farther than what I thought I can.
I'm going to stay local. I'm going to go to UTPA and go into occupational therapy.
I plan on going to UTB and eventually transferring to UT Health Science Center in San Antonio with a major in biology, and then one day hopefully to become a physical therapist.
At this time, I would like for any students that are present, PTSA students that of the month that are present this evening, to please stand and be recognized. Now I would like for their parents to stand if you're in the audience. At this time, I'd like the students to come forward to take a photo with all of our Board of Trustees and Dr. Cavazos.
Wow. Certainly, again, we want to congratulate our students of the month, and thank you, parents, for being here. I did make an observation, fellows. We're sort of in the minority on this deal, but
We noticed that.
maybe Dr. Pettis, you could give an explanation about the X, Y, and XX. Would that be the reason why? That's between us here. That's the reason why, right? Is that a good rationalization?
I'm not sure I want to comment because we'll dig our hole even deeper here.
No, that's right. Okay. All right. Thank you all very much, and congratulations, Mr. Schubart. Okay. Now we have recognition of PTSA Reflections essay winners. Mr. Schubart.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, we honor the creative arts by recognizing our students' achievements in the PTA Reflections program. The PTA Reflections program hosts its yearly contest to provide students the opportunity to submit an artistic statement that describes what inspires them through the mediums of dance, choreography, film production, literature, musical composition, photography, and visual arts. This year, HCISD had many submissions and saw 22 students receive top honors. To help us recognize these students, I would like to introduce Harlingen City Council PTA Treasurer and Reflections Chair, Dr. Sharon Cavazos.
Let me get this ready. Good evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to present our winners for the 2013 Reflections Program. A little bit of brief background about the Reflections Program. This is a nationally sponsored event that our district has supported for many years. The PTA's Reflections Program is designed to enhance rather than replace a quality arts education. Each year, Harlingen campuses are invited to host their own reflections competition, and some campuses have hundreds of entries. Students are encouraged to submit original works of art based on an annually selected theme, and this year's theme was Believe, Dream, Inspire. The top entries from each campus were then forwarded to the Harlingen City District PTA for the next level of competition, and we received hundreds of entries from 16 campuses. The categories were divided into subgroups of primary, which was K through 2, intermediate, grades 3 through 5, middle school 6 through 8, and secondary 9 through 12. This year, we had 65 awardees out of hundreds of submissions, and I am pleased to announce that 16 of these students passed on to the next level of competition at the state level. In fact, today, many of them don't know this. I am pleased to share that we have 5 students who actually placed at the state level, and I will be announcing those shortly. Of the state level entries, there were, I believe, 1,100 submitted. So I will now begin introducing our recipients who received the Award of Excellence, which would be first place at our district level and advance to the state. When I call your name, students, if you'll come to the front and then just stay up here and we'll take a group picture shortly. And you're welcome to look at the slide. Our first category in the primary division, there were 3 areas. First is visual arts. To Ruth Marie Nieto. Can you come on up, Ruth Marie? The title of her artwork is Believe, Dream, Inspire. This is a watercolor, and she says, I believe in my family. Ruth is in 2nd grade. That was a beautiful art piece. Thank you. She also received first place, or the Award of Excellence, for her literature entry, which is I Believe in My Family. This is the first time we've ever had a student receive the Award of Excellence twice in 1 year. So congratulations, Ruth. In photography, we have Ariana. Ariana, come on up, Ariana. Ariana received the Award of Excellence for her photo titled A Glimpse of Hope. Even though it is dark and gray, she says, the sun wants to shine. Ariana attends Zavala Elementary and is in first grade. And I'm pleased to announce that she is one of our 5 that received honorable mention from the state of Texas. The next category is Intermediate Division, grades 3 through 5, and Visual Arts went to Cameron Hale. Come on up, Cameron. Cameron is a 5th grader. She attends Rodriguez Elementary, and she says her artwork symbolizes her time with her grandparents, who inspire her. The title of her work is Coast of Maine. Beautifully done. Photography goes to Marisa Fitzgerald. Come on up, Marisa. Marisa attends Treasure Hills Elementary. She's in 3rd grade. And the title of her photo is Dreaming Dog. I think this dog is dreaming of a bone. She attends Treasure Hills Elementary and is in 3rd grade. Well done, Marisa. Next, we have Scout Medley in the area of literature. Come on up, Scout. Scout attends Long Elementary. She is a 3rd grader. And the title of her piece is Dreams Come True. Scout says that my story tells how my dream to become a clothes designer does come true. And what you're wearing is any indication, I know you'll be a great clothes designer. Musical composition goes to Hannah Yalka. Come on up, Hannah. Hannah attends V. Means Elementary. She's in 5th grade. And she says there are times when nothing is going right, like when she had to move, but if you believe and dream, it will all work out. It was a beautiful song. Next is film production. Film production goes to Adam Maldonado. Come on up, Adam. We have some excellent films, and his title of his film is My Dream is to Become a Chemist. Adam attends Bonham Elementary. He is in 4th grade, and it was a truly great film. Next goes to dance choreography. Dance is Sabrina Todd. Sabrina attends Rodriguez Elementary. Come on up, Sabrina. Sabrina is in 4th grade, and the title of her dance choreography was Always Believe in Me. She talks about how she dreams of becoming a gymnast, and her dance definitely reflected her flexibility and agility. She also received Texas PTA's honorable mention. Congratulations. Our next category is middle school, which is 6 through 8. And in visual arts, we have Juan Rojas. Come on up, Juan. Juan's art piece is titled The Last Horizon. He attends Keys Academy and is in 8th grade. He talks about how this is the last horizon seen by this bird before it flies south. Photography, thank you, Juan. Photography goes to Eliana Vitella. Come on up. The title of her piece is My Nanny, My Angel. She attends Memorial Middle School, is in 6th grade, and she wrote that my nanny inspires me. My nanny is in heaven, and she encourages me to be the best person I can be. Beautiful photo. Literature at the middle school level went to Victoria Salazar. Come on up, Victoria. Victoria attends Vela Middle School. She's in 8th grade. She wrote Believe, Dream, and Inspire. She says, even while battling personal medical issues, I hope to be an inspiration to others and believe that goals can be dreamt about and reached no matter what obstacles there may be. She also received Texas's PTA Award of Merit, which is like 2nd place. Fantastic. Next goes to Joseph DeSillos. Joseph is a 6th grader at Memorial Middle School. He dreams of becoming, the title of his is Believe, Dream, Inspire, and he dreams of becoming someone successful. Well done, Joseph. He also received a Texas PTA honorable mention. Well done. Our next category is high school, senior division, and this is grades 9 through 12. We had 4 areas in visual arts. Maria Sanchez of Early College High School. Come on up, Maria. Maria is a 10th grader, and the title of her art piece is Colors Were Given. And if you read her description, she talks about how racism is so controversial and it's a difficult subject, but that color shouldn't matter. And if you see the hand with the color, I thought that was beautifully done. Photography goes to Matias Garza. Matias is not here, but his title is Olympic Dream, received the Award of Excellence, and attends Harlingen High School. It is a 12th grader. The next category is literature. Literature was won by John Anthony Fraga. Come on up, John Anthony. The title of his literature piece is When Boys Were Men. He attends Harlingen High School South, is an 11th grader, and wrote about how he writes the story of a man from his community whose beliefs and dreams have inspired John to become and develop a strong work ethic. The man that he writes about is his dad. It was beautiful. In addition, John Anthony Fraga received honorable mention from the state of Texas PTA. Congratulations. Next is film production. Maria Alejo is not here. She attends South and wrote and produced a film titled Believe, Dream, and Inspire. So that concludes our group that advanced to the state level. The 2014-15 theme for next year is The World Would Be a Better Place If. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you enter in the competition next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos. Can we get the board members to come forward along with Dr. Cavazos to take a photo? Wheels it up there, yeah.
Now, if you would have given them like some 3D, something, maybe a 3D printer. Yeah.
It's on my sport coat, on my brown suit. So, I mean, Maldonado, he lost his, so.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask all of the parents to stand and be recognized. Parents, if you're here tonight, please stand and be recognized.
Parents.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Very well. Now we have the NASA Texas High School Aerospace Scholars. Mr. Schubart.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, we recognize the outstanding achievements of two of our students from Harlingen High School in the field of engineering. This past summer, seniors William Wright and Quentin Hale were selected to attend a special workshop at the Johnson Space Center in Houston through their participation in the NASA Texas High School Aerospace Scholars Program. They were 2 of 200 students selected and were chosen out of an initial 463 participants after an outstanding performance on the online seminars that the program provides. During the 6-day internship, students were encouraged to study math, science, engineering, or computer science by interacting with engineers at NASA. Their achievements demonstrate their dedication to one of our nation's top growing fields and interest with the potential to bring lifetime success for both of these students. Tonight, we congratulate them and recognize them through a video highlight created by the Public Relations Department.
The one-week program at NASA was sort of like a culmination of all our efforts over the semester of online coursework. So basically the top performers of the semester of online work got to go to the one-week thing at NASA.
I was selected because of an online course that we completed, and I eventually just accumulated a high enough score to be considered within the upper echelon of the participants, and I was given the one-week experience at Johnson Space Center.
The overall goal of the week was we were building like a mock mission to Mars, and so we were broken up into different teams, and I was in the rocketry team. So basically we looked at and designed the rocket that would actually take the crew and all the machinery and stuff to Mars.
I was on the white team, so we were in charge of when we actually made it to our destination, such as Mars or an asteroid, we planned on how they would live there.
So I think this program caters to STEM-minded people, so that's science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I'm interested in physics, and I think that this program definitely caters to that sort of thinking with all that it entails.
I'm interested in going into the science field after graduating high school and going into college. I'm actually pursuing a mechanical engineering degree, and this relates to NASA because there was a series of problems that were related to mechanics and different systems, like would be on a spacecraft and rovers and drones.
If you're interested at all in engineering or math or science or technology, I think this is a really good way to sort of open your mind to the possibilities of what you can do with science or engineering education.
Give you an opportunity to work with people that you probably would have met before and give you the opportunity to open a door for future opportunities such as internships and co-ops in the future.
It felt really good. It felt like it was sort of a vindication of all the hard work that I had done over the semester and all the hard work I've done over my high school experience. It was really nice to be surrounded by other people, like other students that were of a similar mindset.
I found out that I was selected. I was very elated. I felt that all my hard work was paying off in the end. When I actually was up there and met all the other participants that had made it as well, I felt a sense of connection to them, but because we had gone through the whole course together.
It was really rewarding. Not only were we surrounded by other like-minded students, but we got to learn from some of the brightest minds in engineering and science that the country has to offer.
Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, would you please come forward to help us recognize these students with certificates of appreciation?
The one-week program in NASA was sort of like a culmination of all our efforts over the semester of
Our first student is Quentin Hale. Mr. Austin Wright. Can we get the board to come forward for a group photo?
And now we will have the 2014 Texas Music Educators Association All-State Music Students and Teacher. Dr. Quintana.
Mr. McShann, board members, Dr. Cavazos, superintendent, staff, and audience members. We thank you so much for all of your support, and we are so grateful to be here this evening to present our all-state music students from 2014 who recently traveled to San Antonio for all-state music rehearsals and performances. Over 55,000 Texas high school students audition each year. They begin the process of auditioning for the TMEA All-State Music Ensembles. Students compete for 1,500 spots in one of the 13 all-state ensembles. These are different bands, choirs, orchestras, etc. Harlingen was very well represented in 2014 All-State with 18 students who placed in one of 7 of these ensembles. And then they provide us with this information each year, some very important data to make note of. Of the SAT scores, the national average is 1498. The Texas state average is 1437. And then when we take a look at who placed in these ensembles, the men's choir average SAT score was 1726. Women's choir average was 1791.
Mixed choir, 1814. Jazz band 1 has an average score of 1748. The 5A concert band average score was 1771. Symphonic band, 1906. Symphonic orchestra had 2,055 as an average SAT score this year. And obviously there is a connection between participation in music and high academic achievement, something that we are very proud to be a part of. At this time, I would like to recognize the students that placed in these ensembles. And if I could ask Mr. McShann and Dr. Flores to come and present their certificates.
Dr. Flores.
Sorry. That's my one allotted mistake.
You keep bringing these students like this, and that's just fine.
Out of our TMEA men's choir, Justin Reyes from Harlingen High School. Jose Sanchez from South. And unfortunately, Sarah Rubio from Harlingen High School was unable to be with us this evening. Jordan Funk from Harlingen High School South. Matthew Benavides from Harlingen High School was in the mixed choir. Ray Garza from Harlingen High School, also in the mixed choir. April Morrison, Harlingen High School, in the mixed choir. Sarah Salinas, Harlingen High School, mixed choir. Ben Ruiz from South, unfortunately, was unable to join us this evening. He was a tenor in the mixed choir. And placed in the TMEA Jazz Ensemble 1, which is the top jazz ensemble, Mr. Steven Garcia, bass trombone player from Harlingen High School. In the TMEA 5A concert band, Alejandro Leal, French horn from Harlingen High School. Brandon Hawkins, euphonium player from Harlingen High School South. Guillermo Tamez, contrabass clarinet player from Harlingen High School South. Ivan Trevino, oboe player from Harlingen High School South. And in the TMEA 5A Symphonic Band, we had Roxy Davis on the French horn, Harlingen High School. Juan Maldonado, bassoon, Harlingen High School. TJ Sainz, trumpet, Harlingen High School. And we are so fortunate to have a student that placed in the TMEA Symphonic Orchestra. The top chair in the entire state was held by Carter Mink, double bass player from Harlingen High School. At this time, we would like to invite the board members to come and join us for a group photograph. And we would also like to congratulate and thank our wonderful staff that helped these students get to that all-state position. So I'd also like to invite our music staff, band directors, choir directors, orchestra, accompanists, assistant directors. Please come and join us for the group photograph.
Yes, sir.
At this time, if you are a parent of an all-state choir or band or orchestra student, we'd like to invite you to stand. Thank you.
Spring has sprung. That's how we recognize all these great accomplishments.
My goodness, unbelievable.
Remember when I said
Again, congratulations, and we're so proud of our fine arts program. Congratulations to all of you. We will now have recognition of service at the state level. Mr. Ronnie Rios, Head Band Director at Harlingen High School, Vice President of the Texas Music Educators Association, TMEA, Band Division 2012-2014. Dr. Sabrina Quintana.
Well, we couldn't let this special evening get away without recognizing Mr. Rios for his service going above and beyond what is required or asked, in that he was elected as the Band Division Vice President of the Texas Music Educators Association. He served in this post for the past 2 years, and let me tell you, it came with an enormous amount of responsibility. And so I wanted to tell you just a little bit about it. Of course, he has been the head band director at Harlingen High School for many years, and much beloved in that position. He has served on the executive board as the vice president of the band division of TMEA from 2012 to 14. He has represented HCISD through TMEA by serving 4,000 plus band directors, not only in the state of Texas, but nationally. And I have even met foreigners at TMEA. And so his work has had some far-reaching impact. He has met and collaborated with some of the finest conductors and composers in the world as in that position. He has written monthly articles for the band division in the Southwestern Musician that has been published usually on a monthly basis, and it's designed for music educators that are a part of TMEA. And just a little example of one article that has appeared in the February 2014 issue of the Southwestern Musician. He is very passionate about band, passionate about music education and what he does. He has organized the band clinics and concerts and rehearsals for TMEA. This included reading over 2,000 applications of people that wanted to present something at TMEA, and selecting and organizing 60 clinics and workshops for each TMEA convention in the past 2 years. It has also included organizing the rehearsals and performances for 8 different all-state band ensembles. So we would like to thank Mr. Rios for his commitment to quality band education, for representing HCISD at the highest level of achievement, and for his service to music educators and music students at the state level. Mr. McShann and Dr. Cavazos, I would like to invite you to present, please. And presenting Mr. Ronnie Rios, the TMEA Band Division Vice President. Board members? And I'd like to also invite any of the Harlingen High School band staff to come and stand with Mr. Rios. Harlingen High School band staff.
Mr. McShann, if I might, I would just like to say to Dr. Quintana that Mr. Rios has a hidden talent that had been hidden at least until the recent Bob Irby concert, when those of us who were able to attend saw that he is quite the dramatic performer and singer. It was really fun to watch. I didn't know he had this in addition to everything else. It's quite the Renaissance man.
Thank you so very much. And Mr. Rio started in 1995. I remember that so very well. And I tell the story because I was at HEB on a Saturday, and this young man came to me and said, "Sir, are you on the school board for Harlingen?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "I'm Ronnie Rios. I'm the new band director." That happened. And I said, "This guy is special." Obviously, little did we know that Ronnie Rios has really put Harlingen HCISD on the map for music education. So we're so proud of you, Ronnie. We love the voice. We didn't get a chance. You know, you hear the Ronnie Rios voice, you know?
The football game.
Yeah, where are you, Ronnie?
He's right there.
You want to do something for us?
No.
Okay, all right. Thank you so very much. Such an inspiration. And now we have the recognition of chess teams for their performance at the state chess tournament. Mr. Santiago Villanueva.
Thank you, thank you. I will not be singing to you tonight. But yeah, and you want to thank me for that for sure. Good evening, Mr. McShann, board members, Dr. Cavazos, superintendent staff, parents, students, volunteers, and community members. Once again, I stand here in front of you as a proud member of HCISD staff to recognize our students on campuses for their accomplishments. With the support of their campus, parents, volunteers like Mr. Rohr, Dr. Cavazos' support, and you as board members, students and campuses have taken full advantage of the opportunities provided to them through the Competitive Edge Initiative. An initiative that helps unleash their full potential as envisioned by Dr. Cavazos and approved by you 2 years ago. This school year, we have made great strides, and I believe this initiative so far has grown out of its infancy stage. As examples, HCISD this year hosted 3 tournaments, one in October at Sam Houston, one in February at Crockett, and one on March 1st at Treasure Hills. In those tournaments, we have had representation from our campuses from Austin, Bonham, Bowie, Crockett, Dishman, Jefferson, Houston, Lamar, Milam, Stewart, Travis, Treasure Hills, Wilson, Coakley, Vernon, Early College High School, and Harlingen High School. Also some girls from Sam Houston, Gabriela Serrano, Michaela Garza, Ashley Young, Ingrid Banda, Isabel Vasquez, Jasmine Olivares, and Rory Jimenez competed in the state tournament for girls and placed as state champs in the K3 division and second in the K5 division, with Gianelli Serrano in the K3 division earning first place in the K3 division and now having the privilege of holding the state cup for a year. Janelle, would you please stand up? As well, Mrs. Armstrong from Sam Houston submitted a bid to host a regional tournament here in HCISD for 2015. Our first high school team, Early College High School, attended a regional champion tournament and qualified for state. And later tonight, we will seek your approval for them to attend a national tournament. Next year, we plan on having some of the coaches seek level 1 certification from the U.S. Chess Federation. We're also planning on implementing a full chess curriculum in the program, not only to further enhance the chess program, but to align it more with our academic program. Finally, the UIL program under this Competitive Edge initiative is also doing very well. This year we expanded the program to include 4th grade students with more than 500 students competing in the academic meet. Tonight I will introduce groups of campuses and students who certainly are worthy of some recognition. But as I mentioned earlier, many more are involved and worthy of accolades as well. Now, teams and students, as I call your name, please come to the front to take a photo with our board members. Board members, I ask you to please come forward here in a few minutes. Now let us begin by recognizing these talented students. These teams of students qualified to attend the state tournament by qualifying at the regional chess tournament held in Brownsville recently, where close to 1,600 players with 215 teams from across the valley competed. At the state tournament, these students competed with over 1,000 students and 100 teams from across the state of Texas. We're in Houston last month and competed there. And these are the results. For the primary K3J division, Sam Houston, made up of Diego Jimenez, Isabel Vasquez, Julian Gonzalez, Máximo Meneses, and Rory Jimenez. For the first division. This is K through 3. Yes, up through from kindergarten all the 3rd grade. Yeah. Now for our primary, another K3. This is a championship division. Most and all from Sam Houston Elementary. Michael Casas. Gianelli Serrano. Álvaro Nieto. James Cowan. Max Perez. And Jasmine Olivares. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our primary K3 championship division representing Harlingen CISD. Thank you. Our next division from the K-5 area, Elementary Novice Division. 2 players from Dishman, Andres Charles Barba and Destiny Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our K-5 Novice Division. Awesome. Next division is our K-5 JV division, composed of 2 different schools from Dishman and Sam Houston, Cesar Cortez, Austin Kennedy, and Houston Kennedy from Dishman. And Natalia Leung and Ingrid Banda from Sam Houston. Next division is our K-5 Championship Division, represented from Sam Houston, Carlos De Leon, Jacob Fox, Gabriela Serrano, Ashley Young, Micaela Garza, and Brianna Giroux. Thank you. Our last but not least, our high school JV division, K-12. Amadeo Drysdale, Samuel Comer, Alcea Rodriguez, Alex Galvan, Amir Rivera, Vincent Mena, Noah Weston, Elijah Drysdale, and Ethan Esquivel. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first high school team to ever go to regionals in the state, and now we're asking permission for them to go to nationals here in a few minutes. I certainly would be remiss if I didn't recognize the coaches, the principals, and the parents. Would you please stand as well if you're here? And parents, just so you'll know, pictures will also be available on the HCISD website.
Now, does he have to do the competitive edge, right? All right, okay. Again, congratulations.
Whoa.
Congratulations. Recognition of the Competitive Edge UIL Elementary District Meet Top 6. Mr. Villanueva.
Again, thank you. Thank you so very much. Tonight, we will be recognizing 6 different campuses from 2 different divisions. The small campus division, which is made up of less than 500 students in enrollment at the elementary level, and large campus division, which is made up of 500 or more at the elementary level. Mr. Cavazos and Mr. McShann, I ask you to please step forward and give me a hand in handing over the trophies to the campuses. Principals, as I call your campus, please step up to accept your trophy. For the small campus division in UIL competition, in 3rd place with 76 points, Wilson Elementary. Ms. David. Small campus division, 2nd place with 76.5 points, Zavala Elementary. Small campus division, 1st place, 2nd year in a row, Jefferson Elementary with 101.5 points. Last year he had, I think I remember correctly, Manny, it was 136.5 points. We missed the mark a little bit, but still came in first, right? And now for our large campus division. 3rd place with 73 points, Lamar Elementary. Second place, large campus division with 120 points, Stewart Place Elementary. Okay. And for 1st place this year at the large campus division with 163 points, Long Elementary. They have raised the bar, certainly. And finally, I do certainly want to, if we have any students from these campuses, any coaches, UIL coordinators, I would like for you to stand up and be acknowledged as well. And I apologize, one more thing I forgot to mention. On the chess side, I'm not sure if many of you may have seen all those trophies along the wall. All those are trophies that they won through regionals and through state. So just be aware there's a lot of trophy cases that are going to have to be bought. Thank you very much.
Very well. Thank you very much. And now I'd like for Dr. Cavazos to make some acknowledgement. Dr. Cavazos?
Yes, Mr. President, board members, senior team, and audience, I just want to take a moment to pause and say how excited we are, how blessed we are in this district, and how honored we are to have so many highly competitive students in our district. You have represented us well. You continue to represent us well. It's spring, and this is when kids get recognized, and this is why we do what we do every day tirelessly to ensure that we provide the best quality education for our students in Harlingen CISD. Thank you, and thank you for representing us well. Give yourselves a hand.
Now we'll move to approval of minutes. February 11th, 2014 public hearing. The February 11th, 2014 regular board meeting. This is an action item. Yes, sir.
Second.
We have a motion from Dr. Maldonado, second by Mr. De Leon. Is there a discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we move to the principal's report. We have Mimi Ramirez, Bonham Elementary. Ms. Ramirez.
Yes, yes.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Our report today focuses on the area of dyslexia. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability in reading that affects about 1 in 5 people. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate word recognition, decoding, and spelling. It may cause problems with reading comprehension and vocabulary development. Dyslexia is not a lack of intelligence or ability to learn or the result of proper instruction. Dyslexia is neurological and often genetic. The good news is that with proper support and instruction, almost all people with dyslexia can become good readers and writers. That brings us to our presentation today. At Bonham Elementary, we utilize the district program, My Virtual Reading Coach, as well as our critical skills teacher who does hands-on instruction with our students to meet the needs of our dyslexic population. We hope you enjoy today's presentation.
The students that have been identified come to my classroom and they do my virtual reading coach at least 4 days a week for 30 minutes at a time. And then they also do a lot of other activities with me in addition to that. We do hands-on activities, we do vocabulary activities, reading stories together, we play games, we manipulate words, we use the alphabet as a manipulative, and they need a lot of direct and explicit instruction because they don't get the connection to begin with. There's all different kinds of activities within my virtual reading coach that they do work on every day. And throughout the program, about every 2 to 3 weeks, it will monitor them again with a quick little quiz, and I can go in at any time and check their scores in the different areas to see how they're doing. They also get monitored along with all the rest of the students in school through the universal screeners that we give, and at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, and the end of the year. And since they're also in RTI, their progress is monitored through the STAR Renaissance AR test every 2 weeks.
It starts off first by our 504 team, which includes the teacher, the 504 coordinator, the parent, the dyslexic RTI coordinator, who come together and meet to determine some of the accommodations and interventions that would help our students. And so once the 504 committee meets, they determine interventions, they determine accommodations that they will use. In turn, the teacher takes those back to the classroom and is able to utilize those in the classroom. And of course, they choose the ones that are best, that are really going to help our students access the curriculum and be able to be successful. And so the teacher takes those back and is able to utilize them in the classroom, whether it be small group instruction, whether it be oral reading of the math questions, whether it be using of highlighters, or maybe even just preferential seating where the child is seated so that they're able to access that curriculum. So those interventions and those accommodations are taken back to the classroom in hopes that our students will be successful in being able to access the curriculum. We've noticed that our students who go through our 504 program and who are in there and who are able to have the interventions that are needed, that are targeted to what they need, have really come a long way. And we've really seen value that's being added to them. We measure that through different sources, such as our Renaissance Learning, and we want to look for growth. We're looking for growth. We also look at their benchmarks and DCA tests that they may take, their TPRI test if they're in the lower grades. We want to see the growth, and we want to see that the interventions and the accommodations are impacting their learning.
Through these interventions and accommodations, we have seen some great gains from our students. I would like to share a few examples of how our 504 program and interventions have impacted our students. The first two examples show the progress of one of our students who has been in the RTI or the 504 program since the spring of last year. And I am going to see if I remember how they told me to. There we go. This was at the beginning of the year and what we could get from our student to write, and this is something that has been produced now at the end of the year. And so we've seen some really great strengths, and we want to let you know that her teacher has been so impressed with her newfound passion for writing. The next two examples are progress monitoring reports that we received from the STAR Renaissance program that we have, and here's one of them. And it indicates how the student has progressed throughout the year. Again, the STAR Renaissance is a program that we utilize to monitor students' progress, and you can see that trend line that's going up for this particular student, and then we have the other one that's also going up. So Those are two examples of how we see progress in our students. Of course, the ultimate goal of our 504 program is to ensure that we meet the individual needs of our students, and in order for them to be successful and have added value. So before I conclude my presentation, I just want to recognize two of our really special people who are here today, and that is our 504 coordinator, Ms. Fernandez. I just want to recognize her. She does all the great work. As well as our wonderful critical skills teacher who you saw in the video, Ms. Rita Galloway. She really works with our students in providing that very intense instruction for our students and that hands-on instruction. So that concludes our presentation today, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. Board members, questions?
I would just like to comment that I very much appreciate your bringing this forward. Dr. Cavazos and several of us have had multiple discussions about this, and I appreciate the fact that that we're talking about 20% of our students in this district, or in any district, and I had heard 1 in 10, and you brought forward to us a new number, which is 1 in 5, and I am sure you're more correct. And certainly, even if it were just one student out of all of our 18,600, we would have an obligation to deal responsibly and help that student. But when we're talking 20% of the students in this school district, we have a very serious responsibility to be effective in working with our dyslexic students. You know, we can all name some of the most brilliant people in history have been dyslexic, but they had some way to overcome it. And so thank you for bringing this forward. I think it's important. I know that Dr. Cavazos is looking toward some serious focus in this area, and I'm really proud of Bonham. I'm not surprised that we've got our experienced teacher back there doing it. It makes a big difference, and we have some great staff working in this district. We've really got to continue the focus. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. Thank you very much. Certainly appreciate you, and thank you for your staff. Thank you very much. We now have the public comments. Public comments, we have none. Approval of consent calendar. We have some proclamations. First, Early College Awareness Week. Dr. Cavazos.
Yes, Mr. McShann, board members bring forward 2 proclamations, actually. Early College Awareness Week for March 24th through the 28th. Harlingen High School has a comprehensive early college high school, well represented today in the chess program, well represented in the newspaper earlier today as well, providing kids with a well-rounded education. We have this great partnership with the Texas State Technical College. Early college high schools blend high school and college in a rigorous yet supportive program, compressing the time it takes to complete a high school diploma and the first 2 years of college. Coordinated nationally each year by Jobs for the Future, the goal of ECHS Awareness Week is to raise awareness of the school districts nationwide that have adopted early college designs to increase graduation rates and college readiness for students. And so we bring forward the proclamation Early College Awareness Week so we can all recognize March 24th through the 28th.
Thank you. National Library Week, Dr. Cavazos.
Very special. This board has devoted and dedicated and committed funds and energy and commitment to transforming our libraries in Harlingen. So it is very appropriate to recognize National Library Week, April 13th through the 19th. Libraries have historically served our nation's great equalizers of knowledge by providing free access to all. Our nation's libraries, and here in Harlingen, provide a forum for diverse ideas and points of view that help us better understand each other and ourselves. Libraries are part of the American dream, places for education and opportunity and lifelong learning. And for this reason, we bring the proclamation National Library Week for consideration and approval.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos. And I might note that Dr. Cavazos was honored by the Texas Library Association as the Administrator of the Year for the state of Texas. Let's give a big round of applause. We're so proud of you. Thank you very much for your leadership. Award of proposals and contracts, budget amendments, tax refunds, monthly tax collection information, monthly financials, quarterly investment report. That's our consent calendar. What's your pleasure?
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Dr. Maldonado, second by Mr. Powers. Is there discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Matters relating to transformation school support. Dr. Cavazos, that's dealing with Innovation Technology Committee report.
2 items were presented at the Innovation and Technology Committee this month. One was House Bill 5 with the graduation plans presented by Dr. Noyola, explaining the changes that are forthcoming with the incoming freshmen next year. And also the second principle of high school redesign, which speaks to collaborative learning platform. Those 2 items resulted in a lot of questions, a lot of reasons to have conversations centered about the new graduation plans. Well attended, and my chair has stepped out for a minute, but if there's any questions, I'm ready to answer.
You have any questions of Dr. Cavazos? Great job, great report. Thank you very much. Matters relating to curriculum and instruction. Approval of out-of-state trip to attend the National Championship Chess Tournament in San Diego, California, April 3rd through 7th, 2014. Mr. Villanueva and Ms. Paxton.
Good evening again. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we are seeking approval for our students whom you met to be going to San Diego, California for the national tournament.
Good evening, Board President, board members, Superintendent Dr. Cavazos and his staff, and all of our wonderful students and parents who are here this evening. You had the opportunity to meet 9 extraordinary young men who 2 years ago had a dream of starting a chess team with their wonderful sponsor, Ms. Dominguez, and it has blossomed into a wonderful program at Early College High School. And this opportunity that we have is based on the hard work that our students have put in, competing and practicing on their own time, coming in on weekends and even Sundays to work with their wonderful sponsor. So today we ask that you consider the opportunity for these wonderful students who have taken 2nd in region and 2nd in state to go to nationals in San Diego, California in approximately 2.5 weeks.
I move approval, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Fleury, second by Mr. Powers. Is there discussion?
I have one point of discussion, please. Congratulations, we're so pleased. But I want to comment on something that Dr. Cavazos and I discussed not too long ago, and that is that every single time we have students from our district have these wonderful opportunities to travel outside of the district, we really think it would be fabulous if there could be an attempt to be sure that they see a college, a university, a college. It's such a wonderful opportunity. You know, San Diego's got some extraordinary colleges right there. And I see another group coming up San Antonio, and we've got some great ones in San Antonio. So anyway, I'm just hoping, and that's just a comment from me. It's something actually I thought we might even bring forward at some point to the policy committee, because we want our students to see universities and colleges, because that's their future. That's what we're preparing them for by these trips. So thank you.
Well, thank you so very much. And I probably there, but that's a discussion. Are parents here? Any of the parents here are right here? Parents, raise your hand. You can be. We're really proud of you. Thank you. Let's give the parents. Very much. Thank you very much. I call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Off to San Diego.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School Texas Association of Future Educators to compete at the Future Educators of America National Competition in Minneapolis, Minnesota, April 9 through 13, 2014. Ms. Teresa Cuellar.
Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, school board members, and administrative staff, good evening. My name is Teresa Cuellar, and I'm a teacher at Harlingen High School, and I am the Future Educators of America sponsor. Tonight, we would like to ask permission for the national qualifying students to travel out of state to Minneapolis, Minnesota, to compete at the national level. The event will be held April 10th through the 12th And I have prepared a packet for each of you explaining the events and a schedule of the conference. Yeah, it's the red one, Cardinals. Tonight I have with me the students that will be competing, and I'm going to be a bad teacher and have them share with you a little bit of information about their specific competitions. I will say that we did very well at regionals. There was over 600 students. This was at UTPA. And they all placed first place in their events. Sandra Perez, Stephanie Dorado, and Alejandra Gonzalez placed first in Energy Day competition. And Vanessa Gonzalez placed first in its professional support careers. And Sandra Perez again placed first in job application. They went on to state competition in February at San Antonio, and they did awesome. Vanessa placed second, Sandra placed second, and Stephanie, Sandra, and Alejandro placed second again also. So of course they qualified for nationals. Now I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about their competitions.
Hello, I'm Alejandra Gonzalez. And I'm Stephanie Dorado. And our competition's name that we took up to San Antonio, Texas is called Energy Day.
Basically, we decided to teach a lesson over pollution, the greenhouse effect, and global warming to a group of seniors and juniors at our school.
We put together a lesson plan along with an exhibit, and we took we performed it in a classroom. And after that, we actually put in our portfolio, put in a scrapbook here if you guys would want to see it. And also, we did an oral presentation, and we're fortunate to say that we qualified for nationals, and we're really excited.
We're ready to represent Harlingen High School and HCISD in nationals if you guys would permit us.
Thank you.
I also competed in that team, as well as I advanced for job applications. And what that is it's an interview for the position of a 7th grade classroom assistant, and they asked me a series of questions, and I just answered them. So.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Gonzalez. My competition is called Exploring Professional Support Services Career Competition. The purpose of this competition is to select a professional that works in a Harlingen school district and to show how their job supports the students academically. I chose to job shadow Miss Elvia Gritster. She works at Wilson Elementary. She's the librarian. I had to job shadow her for at least 8 hours, and I had to interview her, come up with my own questions, and it has to be 15 minutes, I believe. I had to write a 400-word essay, which explaining some of the duties of a librarian, how their work supports the students and how their work supports the teachers. And I had to, at the competition, I had to present a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, on my reflections and thoughts of my job shadowing experience.
Well, thank you. All right.
Just one last thing, at state there were over 1,500 students, so it was a lot of competition.
All right. Thank you very much. And what's your pleasure?
Make a motion for approval.
We have a motion by Mr. DeLeon and second by Mrs. Young. Is there a discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Off to Minneapolis. Congratulations.
Check the weather before you leave.
Check the weather. Okay, move to adoption of 2014-2015 school district calendar. Ms. Carton.
Is it pretty much the same?
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, and staff, I'm here this evening to present our calendar for adoption for the 2014-2015 school year. And up on the screen, I'm going to walk you through a packet that summarizes our voting for this year. I'm very pleased that we had almost 1,200 of our campus-based employees cast their vote, which is very impressive. And if you see up on the screen, we had 3 options that we presented to our campus-based personnel. And option 1 won by a little over 100 votes with 525. Option 3 came in with 407. So our campuses received the calendar options at a glance. We wanted to make sure that as we worked with the calendar committee, we were going to meet the needs of all of our students. And so if you look up on the screen there are calendar options at a glance. And again, down at the bottom of the page, you see that option 1 did receive the highest number of votes. And then the next page is actually a copy of option 1. Option 1 is very similar to this year's calendar. If you look at option 1, we have our staff coming back on August the 15th. They come back to an in-service week. And then we have we don't actually have a holiday until our weather makeup day, the day before Thanksgiving, which is on November 26th. But some of the positive parts of our calendar from this year, and certainly option 1, is that our students are able to complete their first term before they leave for the Christmas break. So then we come back in January to the beginning of our second term. The 5th and 6th of January this year, those dates really allowed for our campuses to get back and get prepared for that second half of their school year. So we come back to a work day on January 5th and an in-service day on January 6th. Our students then come back for the start of their third quarter. The other thing I wanted to point out is that on this option, the end of our term, or our quarter, will end right before spring break. We have looked at our Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show dates, and our spring break is aligned with that livestock show, which will be March 16th through March 20th. And then, of course, we start our last quarter on March 23rd and end on May 29th with our graduation proposed for May 30th. So this was the option that had the greatest number of votes. And I would like to recommend approval of the proposed calendar as stated in option 1.
I move for approval. Second.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Mr. DeLeon. Is there discussion for the calendar? Going once. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Corton. All right. Let's see. Now we move to the matters relating to business services, acceptance of certification of unopposed candidates. Mr. Julio Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. McShann, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 9A is the acceptance of the certification of unopposed candidates. Since our 2 incumbents were unopposed for the May 10th elections, we have to approve the board has to approve the certificate of unopposed candidates. We're recommending the board to approve the certificate as presented. Any questions?
Mr. President, I move approval of certification of unopposed candidates as presented.
Motion by Dr. Maldonado.
Second.
Second by Mr. Powers. The discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Approval of order of cancellation declaring each unopposed candidate elected to office. Mr. Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. McShann, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 9B is approval of order of cancellation of the election, of the May 10th elections, and declaring each unopposed candidate elected to office. Again, this is something that we have to do to proceed as we look forward to our May board meeting when the new candidates will be sworn in into office. Any questions on that?
I move for approval.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Dr. Maldonado. Is there discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Congratulations to Mrs. Fleurier and Mr. DeLeon. You have 3 more years.
Thank you very much.
Very well. Okay. Matters related to human resources. Approval of revisions to Policy Update 98, Legal and Local on second reading. Ms. Rosalinda Vargas.
Thank you, Mr. McShann, Dr. Cavazos, board members. We bring for your consideration and approval revisions to Policy Update 98, Legal and Local on second reading. These policies were discussed at our last Policy Audit Committee meeting. There were no additional recommended changes made, and so administration recommends approval of policy update legal policies and revisions to local policies on second reading as presented. Mrs. Fleurier serves as our chairperson and may have additional information to share this evening.
Actually, I believe that we've covered and you have explained it. If any of the board members have any questions, we'll be happy to address them.
You do have copies on the dais in the yellow folder in case you want to address that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vargas, for providing that.
Ms. Fleury, and that is your pleasure.
I move approval.
I have a motion by Mrs. Fleury. Second by Mrs. Young. Their discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We have now the adoption of revised policy AE local on first reading, and we have Dr. Cavazos.
Board members, Mr. President McShann, we bring for your consideration an updated board policy AE on first reading only, which updates and reflects the changes in the adoption of the strategic plan goals. And so now the policy will be aligned with those new goals as adopted when we brought the strategic plan. And it only requires one reading since we've taken action before.
I move for approval. Second.
A motion, Mr. Pyra, second by Mr. DeLeon. Is there discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Approval of PDAS appraisers, PDAS appraiser for 2013-2014. Ms. Vargas.
Thank you, Mr. McShann, Dr. Cavazos, board members. On an annual basis, we bring forward the list of administrators to serve as PDAS appraisers for the school year. PDAS is our professional development appraisal system utilized for teacher evaluations. We recently added a member to our administrative team at Stewart Place Elementary, so we are bringing Don Burbach forward as the new assistant principal for your approval as a PDAS appraiser for the 2013-14 school year. We recommend approval.
I move approval.
Motion by Mrs. Fleury.
Second.
And a second by Mrs. Young. Is there discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And we move to matters relating to district operations. Facilities Committee report, Mr. Tapia.
Thank you, President McShann, members of the school board, Dr. Cavazos. On March 4th, we held a Facilities Committee meeting. Items discussed were the first item was accepting a rebate check from ACR Engineering for $69,216 from AEP's the Standard Commercial Offer Program. We also heard a presentation on the Cameron County Regional Mobility Authority transportation plan by Mr. Pete Sepulveda. He discussed the expansion of Interstate 69 East, Interstate 2 Highway, and the Outer Parkway FM 509 corridor extension, which leads to the future second causeway at South Padre Island, and the potential of economic and population growth impact to our area, especially the north and west sides. We also heard a presentation on Treasure Hills Elementary roof study report by professional engineer Rolando Rubiano. Structural engineer basically stated that the roof system is safe in its current condition. It can be occupied and used. However, his report states that the roof structure is nearing its serviceable life. We have about 4 to 5 years to decide what improvements or repairs to do to that roof structure. We also heard an update on the reconstruction of Han Road and possible governmental entity joint partnerships. We'll hear a little bit more about that in executive session later this evening. We also had an update on the School of Health Professions. And then we got into the school bond programs, the status of the Aquatic Center, the Ninth Grade Academy, the Jefferson Classroom Wing that has recently started. We went over the smaller projects like the re-roofing project, some AC, some small projects we're bidding out, and the Harlingen High School kitchen renovation project. We also went over a change order related to the kitchen project, a small one, and Mr. Julio Cavazos gave an update on the financial report for the bond funds. Any questions?
Question, Mr. Tapia. Dr. Maldonado, as Chair of Facilities Committee, you have any additional?
No, Mr. President, I think Mr. Tapia did a good job of covering the highlights of the meeting.
There are a lot of details that obviously are included in the report. A very comprehensive presentation by Mr. Sepulveda on the growth plans for the county. So that's important as we look to the future for the district, that we keep close connections with the other parts of the community, in particular transportation, as that's important to our schools. I'll answer any questions anyone might have.
Thank you, Dr. Maldonado and Mr. Tapia. Excellent job. Now move to Region 1 Education Service Center Board elections. You have at your dice here we have Region 1 Education Service Center board elections, place 2 and place 5. If you would fill out the ballot and pass them forward to me, and I would forward this on to Board Secretary Sonia Brown to forward to the appropriate office at Region 1. Thank you so very much. It is now 8:30. The board will adjourn to close our executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082, the Opens Meeting Act, for the following purposes: consultation with district attorney regarding legal issues concerning Cameron County requests for district contribution to cost of repaving Han Road, discuss purchase of property, discuss employment of teachers and other professional staff, discuss approval of Harlingen CISD administrators contracts for 2014-2015. We're in closed session. It is 9:40. The board reconvened at the open session for action on matters discussed in executive session. Consideration and possible action concerning Cameron County request for district contribution to cost of repaving Han Road.
Mr. President, I move that we deny the request.
We have a motion by Mr. Powers.
I second the motion.
Second by Mrs. Fleurier. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider purchase of property.
Mr. President, I move that superintendent be authorized, as discussed during executive session, to proceed with the item noted on the agenda as purchase of property.
We have a motion by Dr. Maldonado. Second by Mr. De Leon. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Consider approval of Harlingen CISD school, consider employment of teachers and other professional staff.
Mr. President, I make a motion for approval as recommended by administration.
I said, oh, go ahead.
We have a motion by Mr. De Leon and second by Mr. Powers. Is there discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we move to the consider approval of Harlingen CISD district administrative contracts for 2014-2015. We have several categories. Category 1, do I hear a motion recommending that the board employ administrators as recommended under a one-year contract for 2014-15 school year?
Mr. President, I move that the board employ administrators as recommended by administration under one-year term contracts for the 2014-2015 school year, and I further authorize the board president to execute employment contracts to the employees accepting this offer.
I second the
I have a
motion.
motion by Mr. Powers, second by Mrs. Fleury. Is there discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Do I hear a motion recommending that the board extend the multi-year term contracts of administrators as recommended by the administration for an additional year through the end of 2015-16 school year?
Mr. President, I move that the board extend the multi-year term contracts of administrators as recommended by administration for an additional year through the end of the 2015-2016 school year, and I further authorize the board president to execute employment contracts to the employees accepting this offer.
Have a motion by Dr. Maldonado
I'll second the motion.
and a second by Mrs. Young. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Do I hear a motion that the board extend the one-year non-Chapter 21 term contracts of non-Chapter 21 administrators as recommended by administration for the 2014-15 school year?
Mr. President, I move that the board extend the one-year non-Chapter 21 term contracts of non-Chapter 21 administrators as recommended by administration for the 2014-2015 school year, and I further authorize the board president to execute employment contracts to the employees accepting this offer.
We have a motion by Mrs. Flourier.
Second.
And a second by Dr. Maldonado. Is there all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do I hear a motion recommending that the board extend the multi-year term contracts of non-Chapter 21 administrators as recommended by administration for an additional year through the end of the 2015-16 school year?
Mr. President, I make a motion that the board extend the multi-year contract of non-Chapter 21 administrators as recommended by the administration for an additional year through the end of 2015-16 school year, and I further authorize the board president to execute employment contracts to employees accepting this offer.
I have a motion by Mr. De Leon and a second by Mrs. Young. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries, and this regular board meeting is adjourned.
What just happened there?